Massive crowds waiting in the rain for hours at Ole Miss to see Vice President J.D. Vance and Erica Kirk speak at the sold-out Turning Point USA event, inspiring the crowd to continue Charlie's legacy of faith and patriotism.
The Lord is calling you to rise. Please hear me when I say that courageously. He is. Do not be afraid. It is so easy to be afraid, but we are commanded to not be afraid. And when you take that stand, it will encourage and inspire someone else to do the same.
If you disagree with something, then get involved in the movement to save this country. If you think that we could be doing more, then pick up the phone and get involved in the effort to change our minds and change the future of the United States of America in the process. My friends, the rebels of Ole Miss, despair is a sin. Do not give in to despair. Let's keep fighting to save the United States of America.
Joining me now is someone who helped organize that event. He's a professor at the Department of Philosophy at Ole Miss and director of the Declaration of Independence Center for the Study of American Freedom, Dr. Stephen Scultetti. Doctor, thanks for being here. Did last night exceed even your greatest expectations?
Yeah, it was one of the most memorable events that I've been to in my life. And when we found out it was going to be the Vice President Erica Kirk, I mean, we were amazed by that. But even being amazed, it was still an incredibly moving and poignant event.
Was there a moment that stood out to you above other moments? I know it's tough to pick one in an event like this, but was there one?
First when Erica began speaking and was emotional as she was speaking, I don't think there were many dry eyes in the audience because you could tell how important this was to her. And how close she felt to Charlie in doing this and speaking. But I think just the other thing is it was just extraordinary. It was extraordinary to sit there and watch the vice president of our country take unscripted questions from students for an hour. I just sat there sort of just amazement that I'm living in a country where someone so powerful can just take questions from undergraduate students at Ole Miss. It was fantastic.
And Professor, some of those questions were about the topic of faith. Here's the Vice President answering those questions on his faith. Listen.
Can you tell us how your faith helps you in your role as Vice President?
Well, I appreciate that. That is a very good question. And this is another way in which Charlie has affected my life. I would say that I grew up, again, in a generation where even if people had very deep personal faith, they didn't talk about their faith a whole lot. And I grew up in a country where you just didn't hear political leaders talk about their faith. But the reason why I try to be the best husband I can be, the best father I can be, the reason why I care so much about all the issues that we're going to talk about is because I believe that I've been placed in this position for a brief period of time to do the most amount of good for God and for the country that I love so much.
Professor, is that message about faith, whether coming from Charlie Kirk, Erica Kirk, or the Vice President, as we heard there, is that really resonating with the younger generations that you teach daily? And if so, why? Why is it resonating?
I think students have a sense that the way things have been for the last few decades just covers up so much in terms of what people are really feeling and thinking. So I think there's a sense that people are walking around wanting to express their religiosity, but just haven't felt free to do so. And I think there's a sense now that it's okay to identify as a Christian. It's okay to celebrate your faith without worrying so much about what other people will think about you. But I think maybe the bigger thing is just a lot of the students I teach feel that a life without God is just lonely, meaningless, and not fulfilling. And I think a lot of students are looking for something that gives meaning to their life in a bigger transcendent sense.
And that is a good sign for the next generation. Dr. Stephen Scultetti, thank you for getting up with us early after a late night for an event that you put on. We certainly appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.